Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
What up, though? What up, though? Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody. Those I love and those who love me and those who don't. You know what I'm saying? It's the GoReal or Go Home show. We're going to be here for a shorter time, but it's going to be a few minutes of what is, what was, and what will be. You feel me? Now, we want to send some love out to our lovely co-host, Lady K. She not here tonight, but, you know, she with us in spirit and attitude. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to jump right into these situations that we need some insight on. You feel me? I'm going to put this out there. It's going to be out there. I'm going to share it for a few days. And I just want to get some people's opinions, you know, moving forward, you know what I'm saying, so that I know. And these are people that I depend on for opinions on other things, you know. So why not bring it to the forefront, despite what some people think that I should or shouldn't. I'm going to ask. This is my platform, and I don't know what else I'm supposed to use it for other than to tell my story. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing you got to know. That's the thing you got to know when you out here dealing with people and they say something like, well, you can't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? That's my business. But if I was the other half of that business, that's my business too. You feel me? My story is your story is my story, and I get to tell that. You know what I'm saying? So I have never really had a rant or a rave about black businesses. You know, always be like, hey, go on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not going to take the time out of my schedule to talk shit about a black business. But I be damned if my own homeboy going to be one of them. And I feel like I'm not going to put no words on it. I just want to tell the story.
Situation.
And then let it be that, right? So this is what it was. Boom, we talking plumbing here, right? Okay. So we doing plumbing, right? I guess it's plumbing. I needed my tub glazed, right? Like it's a bathroom thing, right? So I hit bro up like, can you glaze the tub? He told me he does these things. I said, all right, bet. You know, and I should have known. You got the picture? I should have
of him, of the person.
Yep, and the cost. Yeah, either one. You know what I'm saying? I should have known something wasn't right when I found out what his name was. You feel me? Because his name is a red flag in itself.
Oh shit!
His name is a fucking red flag. We talking about caution. Caution, fly high. His name ought to be yield sign, so you can slow the fuck down when you come near. You know what I'm saying? When you think about doing business with caution, you better take precautions because he might be on some bullshit. You feel me? So take a close look. Take a good look at that face. He on that bullshit. And we about to get into it. I ain't want to even say he on that bullshit. I want you to decide if he was on bullshit. Right? Because I could very well be the one that's on the bullshit.
Okay. And
it'd be like, man, we wasted all this time and you was on some bullshit. So here we go. So boom, I need the tub glaze. I hit up the brother Caution. He say this is what he does. He say, it's gonna be $275 to glaze the tub. I'm like, all right, bet. You know, we done heard, different prices over the time, but it don't matter. You feel me? I decided a long time ago I was going to call him when I needed it done. You know what I'm saying? So I called him up. He came over. He did it. Boom. Shiny-ass new tub. You know what I'm saying? Followed the rules. You know, he cleaned up for the most part. Wasn't no big mess, nothing like that. We followed the rules. You know, don't use it for this long, whatever. But the next day I realized that he didn't do the soap dish. You feel me? So I hit him up and say, bro, why didn't you do the soap dish? All right, which was no big deal at the very moment when I asked. You know what I'm saying? I was like, why didn't you do the soap dish? I'm just trying to understand why he didn't do it. You know, maybe he forgot it or something, right? And he like, oh, well, the soap dish is separate from the tub. And I say, oh, well, why wouldn't you say that, right? He say, well, you just said do the tub. And I say, well, bro, to me, the soap dish is part of the tub. You know what I'm saying? Like, I use the soap dish just as much as I use the tub. If I need my tub glaze, why wouldn't I need my soap dish glaze? You know what I'm saying? So he say, well, if you'd have said that, I'd have done it. I say, bro, you the contractor, right? If McDonald's don't tell you how much the combos is, how you know? If they don't tell you you can get this, and that for this much, while you only paying this much for that, how would you know? Do they not want you to get the deals? Do they not want to sell as much as they can? You feel me? Right. So what we talking about is not necessarily bad business, but proper business practices. You feel me? If you do not have a card, like for example, I'm looking at a menu of what shit costs. You know what I'm saying? What merch costs, right? And on your website, there's all type of menus and how you can get 2 of these for this and 4 of these for that, right?
Right.
If you don't have that in place, and that's for whatever business that offers more than one service or more than one product. if you don't have that card, that flyer, that website in place, then you need to be vocal, right? You need to be very communicative. You need to be all about selling from the gate, not after the fact, right? Not when I'm looking at a finished product next to a old fucked up thing, and now you're like, oh yeah, you want me to do that too? I'm like, all right, why don't you just go ahead and tell me now to pay $275 for the tub, right? So I said, why don't you go ahead and tell me how much it's gonna be to come all the way back and just do the soap dish? He said, oh, that's $75. But if you want, I can clean the walls too and do all that for $200. I said, you don't see how the hustle, how that sound like hustle in there to you? That don't sound weird to you saying that way? Like, no, I'm just saying, because you should have said it. I'm like, that all that shit sound like hustle, bro. Like, you should have said, I should have said it. I should have known. It's your business, though. So I'm looking at it like, okay, this is like somebody else I know who they went to the mechanic and was like, oh, yeah, I think I need my brakes done, right? Because we got to assume that your client knows nothing about your business, right? Right. So the client comes and say, oh, I think I need my brakes done. Boom, they do the brakes, put it back on. The sound is still there. He come back like, what the fuck's wrong with my? They're like, oh, you needed calipers.
You're like, you wasn't gonna tell me that. That's what
you wasn't gonna tell me that I needed calipers.
You just gonna fix the brakes, knowing that I
didn't need brakes. They said you asked for the brakes. You feel me? Now whether I needed the brakes or not, you are the business. Sell. Hey, bro, I done took these tires off, and you need calipers too, right? Hey, I'm in this bathroom. I'm doing this tub, but you don't want this old ass soap dish done. I'm just saying, this is just the proper way to be vocal and to sell. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm sitting here looking like, okay, why the fuck do I want a half-ass done job? You feel me? But why would you want to allow your name and your business to be stamped on something that look like some bullshit? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why my mom used to tell me when we cut my grass, cut the neighbor's grass too. Because they ain't really cut their shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're going to cut our shit. It's going to be perfect. Sitting right next to that. We just not those type of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a way you done came up. It's a way you understand doing business. It's the way you never sold dope. It's the way, you know what I'm saying? Everybody prospers at things because of how hard they go at them. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I'm looking at it is like, now, well, I'm right back to the drawing board of choosing who going to do that now. Right? Okay, well, now I'm back to choosing who going to have a better price at that and who I go ahead and get that wall done by somebody else. You were already in the building. You were already in the bathroom. You feel me? With your tools out, doing your thing, and you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't speak up. So then when I told him, I'm like, damn. We went back and forth about, yeah, I should have said something about it. And I was like, all right, bet. So then when I did the thing today, because I told him, I was like, I think you should tell your people what you did. And I'm going to tell my people. And we'll just see, like what we get back from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, if I'm on some bullshit, let me know. But it irritated the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, what is he doing? So this is what I came up with. Like, I'm going to just use my platform and ask people. So, of course, that upset him. When I made my advertisements, he said, oh, you gossiping. I'm like, how's this gossiping? I'm just telling people something that happened to me. You feel me? Like, I don't think in any way, shape, or form it's going to do anything to your business, but I hope you pay attention to it and other people in the future as well. Like, sell, man. If you got more to put out there, then put it out there. If this person don't know what they asking for, then explain it to them. You feel me? This is just the way I understand doing business when you have a service or products to sell, right? If a person came to your clothing store looking for shoes, but you also have motherfucking bags, jeans, and shirts, why wouldn't you be trying to match something with the shoes?
It's called, for one, I believe the phrase is suggestive selling, right? Selling them products that that goes with the product that they already bought. Or just giving them a thorough explanation of the job and what could be done, what you could do, or just not even what you could do, what you're doing and what's not included, what's included and what's not included. You know what I mean? That's really more so of I feel like what should have been expressed in that situation. So.
Right, because there
was of those two things.
Yeah,
you could have let me know. Okay, well, the curtain rod ain't included. The motherfucking shower, the soap dish ain't included. You know what I mean? I'm not doing the walls. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Just glazing the tub.
Yes, because it sounds like you've been in this position before, being a person who does this. I have not, being that I ain't had a bunch of tubs that need to be polished. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I believe you have been in a situation before where somebody did not know that these things, you know what I'm saying, were separated like that. So it kind of begs the man to be like, well, you like from now on, I'm gonna make sure I tell motherfuckers off the gate. But instead, I feel like the hustle comes in when he finishes it and it don't look right.
And knowing that okay, now I'm gonna create a new job for myself and say, oh well, that's not included. That's a reason for them to book me back and spend some more money as opposed to me just letting them know that this is not included in the first place. So
yeah,
I get that angle of it.
I feel like that happened with somebody that had a surgery. You feel me? They had surgery.
Oh my God,
Listen,
I hope not.
they had a surgery on their what was it, like they motherfucking like a knee or something. You know what I'm saying? And they used staples to put it back together, right? Then later on, like maybe a year later, them staples fell apart. And they like, well, damn, you got a real active life. You know what I'm saying? They probably should have never used staples, but they was like, well, why would they have done that in the first place? They say so you would come back for the more serious surgery. So the surgery needed to be done, but she chose to have it done somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not gonna get that bread. You know? So that's pretty much all you can do in this situation is be like, okay, well, I'm gonna get that money to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Since I got to pay a whole new thing, and it's not bundled up anyway.
And now that you know, right, now you are equipped with the knowledge to ask certain questions beforehand to know what kind of job you're getting and not getting.
Right, like.
But it's unfortunate that you have to go through, I guess, a loss. You know what I'm saying? I think I was talking about the surgery when I was talking about the loss, but going through a inconvenience. I'll say that, just to learn.
Yeah, because that's what I'm looking at is like. I've already vacated that house for however many hours, you know what I'm saying, so you can do what you did. So now it's like we got to do that again. In order for you to come back, you could have did all that at one time. We could have talked about that. You feel me? It's like, I don't know. If I got to do that again,
like
when
you're getting windows put in the house, right? They're going to suggest, hey, well, if you want new glass blocks on the bottom, do you want this window fixed? You want that one up? You know, they suggest everything that they could do possible in that situation. They don't just, take your money and do whatever it is that they want to do and leave, that type shit.
Like, it don't look right, but you didn't say put molding back around it.
Right.
We don't put molding back around. Like, come on, you don't think I want that? You don't think I want it to look right? You don't think I want my window to look like it's supposed to look? Right. You know what I'm saying? So, also, every business venture, every business contact is a chance for a business relationship. You feel me? So I'm looking at this like, well, if this first one went this way, there's no sense in me calling you back because I don't want to do no more business with you. You feel me? Like, what else I'm going to forget? What else aren't you going to tell me? You know what I'm saying? So, we just going to start that relationship with a different contractor. You know what I'm saying? A different subcontractor who give a different type
Marcy
of
said he was being lazy. That's just ghetto.
And it's just...
I don't get why the soap dish wouldn't be included on YouTube.
He said, he told me the soap dish is part of the tile, right? And I didn't ask for the tile. The soap dish is in the tile. I understand that. But the soap dish is not tile. My tub is not made out of tile. The soap dish is made out of the same shit the tub is made out of. You feel me? So, it's a lack of thoroughness, you know what I'm saying, a lack of understanding. And maybe a lot of us own businesses who are not people persons. We're not necessarily vocal people, you know what I'm saying? Which is why ads and menus, which is why ads and menus and web pages are important because you can just refer someone, send a link, you know what I'm saying? Refer someone to your page and be like, if they ask you questions even in text message, you can be like, if you can go, I've had people say that, you can go to this link and it'll tell you everything you're looking for.
Exactly.
Because they've been doing this for too long and don't want to answer them same questions.
And if you've been doing it, exactly, that's the part. I was about to say, if you've been doing this for a while, then you know that you've probably been asked or have answered a lot of the same questions. So that's where that comes in convenience. Or you have a website or at least a flyer made that you can send people with prices of your services and what it entails and what it doesn't entail.
Because I didn't even know he cleaned tile, right? When we talked about doing the tub 2-3 different times, he didn't say, and I also do this and I also do this. So I had no idea that was even a thing you did. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't even on my radar. But if we'd have talked about this, who knows? You know what I'm saying? If we throwing this all in together right here today, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But that's the whole point. I got the bread in my pocket. What you trying to do, you know? So that's that, man. I just want people to understand, again, I would never say it's bad business because, like I said, the tub looks like it's brand new. You know what I'm saying? He did clean up behind himself, but I do not necessarily appreciate the after-the-fact taxing. You know what I'm saying? I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate the job have done. That's for sure, for sure. Like, that's kind of tacky to me. But like again, if you don't have those things in place, your flyers, your ads, your menus, your web pages.
So you know, when you do your podcast over here, man, you got to pay me for the studio time, and then when the show is over, you got to pay me again to put it up on YouTube. But you didn't know about that.
You ain't tell me about the YouTube. You ain't tell me you got it. Well, you ain't asked me if the show was gonna be broadcast on YouTube. But you're right. I did assume that if I was down here amongst all this equipment and shit, it was gonna be shown somewhere. When you show up with a worker and a whole bag of shit and machines, I think you about to get in. Why waste your time after do all that shit again? But it's like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But moving forward, that ain't the only bad business, man. The other bit of bad business, I am the founder of Juneteenth Detroit. I've been doing that 13 years, going on 13 years now. I've also the founder of Food for Thanks, which is something we just did recently with, we followed up behind that and assisted We Three Queens Community Conglomerate with Food for Thanks. And it was a beautiful thing. We fed, it looked like they fed about 220 people. And we also took it upon ourselves to find and serve four whole meals, Thanksgiving meals to families who needed them, right? So it was a great effort, and you know, someone contacted me and said, you know, I like what you do. You should come on the show and, you know, tell people what it is that you do in the community and talk about. I say, great. I've been doing that also for the same amount of time I've been doing this community work, right? Promotions is important, like I just said. Letting people know what you do and putting it out there is important. So I've gone on a lot of podcasts to talk about Juneteenth, Mac Alive, Food for Thanks, you know, all types of, you know, the community works that we out here doing. Now, after this event was over, I contacted this person recently and said, okay, so you want me to come on the show? When can I come on? They said, oh, you can come on the next week. But naturally, there's going to be a fee for you coming on the show. And
it was a solicitation. It wasn't an invitation.
But see, this is the thing, though. Can you imagine? And that's why I don't like whores. Don't dare come up to my car asking me if I want a party and then tell me it's going to cost me $100. You just came to me. That makes no sense, okay? So they came to me, told me, we see what you're doing out here. We like what you're doing out here. Come on our show and talk about it, right? Then when I call them and contact them and say, I'm ready to come on the show, they say, okay, it's a fee. That's not the problem. Being a fee to come on someone's broadcast network is not a problem, right? But the dollars got to make sense, right? Now, I was thinking on some real shit somewhere along the lines of in upwards of $50. You know what I'm saying? To come on the show and speak 20 minutes about things I do in the community for free. No. Not 50. Not 100. Not 150. $200. $200. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It's one thing about these podcast networks. There's a couple of them that I greatly respect because of the ownership of them. I don't know all the shows that's on these networks, but I know the owners take what they do serious. They've been doing it for close to a decade. They found out ways to make money from this. They found out ways to build networks and business relationships, and it's worth it to them. Now, for every show, because I have one of my own, I know it's about getting back what you put into it. So when I'm talking to this person, they talking about $200 to come on their show. I'm like, don't nobody know you no more than they know me. When I look at the views on your show, you ain't getting no more views than the most of us. You feel me? So if he asking for 50 and she asking for 50 and dog over there want 50 and they giving you commercials and all this, how am I getting a few minutes of talking time about something I do for free? I'm not selling anything. I'm not asking for any money. I don't have a GoFundMe. I'm not fundraising. They're not even
offering you a sponsorship of the show to continue your advertisement for the month.
No, they're not even going to show a snippet of this interview as a commercial over time. That's it. After you give them this $200, there go your 30 minutes of talking and you gone. Whoever you reach is whoever you reach. That's why it's supposed to be a little bit more reasonable than that, unless you can prove that your show, not your network, right? Now, let's be real here. 7 Mile Radio is what I wear on my cuff when I go and meet people because the network is known. GoReal or Go Home is not known. So if you're pushing the network, that's one thing. That means that $200 for them and you being pimped out. But if you're pushing it for your show, then you need to go hard on your numbers to make that make sense. Don't be trying to make me pay your bills. I'm paying your bills? Come on now, that's crazy. $200 to sit on your show. I can't imagine nobody here. Based on the people who have allowed me to be on their shows for free, I can't imagine who the hell I pay $200 to sit in their show. I can't imagine it. I can't fathom it right now. I don't know. Right? I've been on FM 98. I've been on 17.5. You don't pay them to be on. When you got something going on that's worth it to put their name on it, they inviting you on it because they want to be associated with that. So that's what that means to me. Like, y'all didn't really want to be associated with it. Right? She was associated with some people who, I don't fuck with in the first place, And the thing is, a lot of these off-brand businesses and squads be out here steady meeting people, and those people that they meet and have no idea of the track record they have. So when these people go get out here and start promoting this business they're a part of, this new squad they with, they got all this energy, all this new energy they bring into your squad. They out here meeting people that they don't know, you don't want to talk to no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't have him on the show. We don't talk to him. So then they got to come back and be on stupid shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't going to pay that $200. You know what I'm saying? And I decided not to say her name or the show she a part of, because none of y'all are worth my time or effort for the most part. So I don't know, man. I guess I'm feeling myself to the point where I can say fuck people at this point. And if you are who you were, then fuck you and the people that sent you, because I can't believe you asked me such a thing. It's almost offensive with the work I've done compared to the lack of shit y'all have done for the people out here. And I don't want to hear it. What I do behind closed doors. Open them fucking doors up and set an example so we can see what you're doing for the community. $200 to come on there and talk about giving away free plates that we had to muster up to get in donations in the first place. Right. That don't make sense. So the few people who gave me cash, they got to know that I took some of that donation money and gave it to a podcast so I can talk about the money that they gave me. The fuck out of here, man. No, trick no good. You know, I'm not that hot. I don't know what it is about people. You know, some people say, well, you know, you a draw and people pay attention. My numbers don't show that in everything that I do. I just do a good party at the bar downtown. Oh, that was nice. But that wasn't really my lane. I'm not a party throwing, bar throwing person anymore. You know what I'm saying? My lane is community and family. So I'm focused on that. And that's where all my pros got to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to continue to rock with the ones who didn't rock with me. It's a few different podcasts that's been rocking with the stuff that we do for years. And I'm going to keep going back to them because they keep letting me come back. You know what I'm saying? And anybody else, you know, that's good for that. You know, y'all clearly finding somebody. I mean, you finding somebody to pay them prices. So you go ahead and you do that. But for the rest of us, it's got to make sense, man. And I couldn't take that back to the people I work with, doing community work with, for free, and tell them, yeah, I got this podcast and say for $200 we can come on there and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, and I wish y'all the best. But y'all some clowns for that, and I wish I could give y'all a hee-haw or some shit. That was just ridiculous. Yo, so what we got? Trick no good. Y'all got to be more careful. So look, in the end of this, what we want y'all to take from this is proper business practices. First of all, make your service, your prices got to match your service, right? If you're going to charge somebody $200 for an interview, you better be ready to put that shit all over the internet. You know what I'm saying? And have something coming with it. There's got to be something more coming with it than sit here at this table and do what you could do at a dozen different tables. All right? Something. I was waiting on her package. Like, we're going to give you a t-shirt. You know, we're gonna have a brew waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? I assumed I was going to get some drinks or some shit. But it's the same thing that I'm doing right here, right now for y'all. No, I'm straight on that. And then with the other brother, you know, he said I should have invited him on the show. You know what I'm saying? Caution, fly high. At some point in his, you know, upset inboxes, he said I should, because now he was upset today. You know what I'm saying? He was not concerned with how I felt as a client, with how I felt like I had been, you know what I'm saying, somehow duped as a client. But once I said, well, I'm gonna let somebody know, right? Just like with all other people, once you want to tell somebody, now they got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? No, I figure I'll let people know because you didn't give a damn, and I just wondered if anybody else would care about that. So be prepared, people. Be vocal. Be communicative, and be sellers of your products. If you do not have your flyers, your business cards, and your web pages, and you can send people links, be ready to sell them what you got. Be ready to tell them and make all the money that you can when they have it. This is out of love, out of the community. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was tough love, maybe not. But I'm trying to be normal, and I think this is what a normal person would do. I don't want to meet him and yell, and I can't hit him because he's smaller than me. You know what I'm saying? And because if I hit somebody else, it's probably going to be my third strike. So it can't come to that type of ignorant shit. You feel me? So this is where we are. He might be on the show next week. You know what I'm saying? He's more than invited. You know what I'm saying? We don't run from conversations around here. It's go real or go home. So we are more than welcome. He's more than welcome to come and speak his piece and explain based on how he understands business.
Or call in.
Or call in. You know what I'm saying? Or you can post some shit and help us understand how you believe the client should be the one that comes with all that comes with all the information. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how to put that, but you know, you just gotta assume that the people you're working, that hiring you, don't know anything about the business, right? Whether you cutting down trees or plumbing or electricity or whatever, give them all the information, not only for yourself, but for them, so that they can leave that feeling like they were well informed. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, had I been like, oh, damn, I can't even afford that, at least you knew. You know what I'm saying? And then when I hit them up, yeah, I got to pay that whole ticket because you ain't have it. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's two different things. You know what I'm saying? I had a pocket full of bread. I'm trying to get shit done to the crib. And this is how it got played. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, moving on, you know, that was just my tidbit. That's Go Real or Go Home. A few minutes of what was, what is, and what will and should be. We appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Lady K. Go Real or Go Home. Appreciate 7 Mile Radio. Mima Do Pori and Tuesday Wilson Ballhead. We appreciate y'all. That was a great event. Shout out to Food for Thanks and We Three Queens. Peace.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile